Glasses is on a generational run right now. Hold up. Bro with Glasses is on a generational run. Hold up. Anyways, though, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to the homie Bro with Glasses. Hey, man, make sure you go subscribe to his channel with them views up, the likes up, the comments, the subscribers up, and all that good stuff over there on his channel. You already know they show that love over here. We're gonna show that love right back. It came back with the classic of classics. That's classic to the classic. That's classic on the classic. That's classic to the classic. But the Mack from the black exploitation days. I hope and pray that they don't ever try to reboot this like they try to do Superfly. I hope they don't try to reboot this like they did Superfly. Please leave the classics alone, bro. This is for the players, the pimps, and the players. Let the players have their one time for the one time. You feel me? Yeah, baby. You already know. You know the name of the game. Your bitch chose me. Now we can sell this like we got some class, or we can get into some gangster shit. You feel me? This is a motherfucking classic right here, though. But anyways, though, without further ado, let's get right into this. This is my dad. It was arguably my dad's favorite movie. Real talk. This is like my dad's favorite movie. Wouldn't say this was the first movie we bonded over, but this is another movie that we bonded over. I was like, damn. RP's my pops. But anyways, so without further ado, let's get right into this.
So a while ago, a dude gave me a bunch of money on a live stream and threw out a few requests. Now, I don't take video requests for money, but he showed some love, so I'm going to show some back. So now we're watching the Mack. I've been wanting to cover more of these old school blaxploitation movies, but judging from how many people watch my Shaft review, there's not much interest, so this may end up being my last one. Our movie opens with a shootout following a drug deal going wrong. Goldie, played by Max Julian, and Slim, played by Richard Pryor, fight for their lives. Goldie makes a break for it, only to crash and do 5 years in jail, courtesy of these two crooked cops. He manages to kick his drug habit and is looking to make a name for himself by becoming the coldest Mack in Oakland. But first, he has to catch up with his family and friends. His mother, played by Juanita Moore, is hoping Goldie can leave behind his life of crime for good. His brother Olenga, played by Richard Mosley, is a militant freedom fighter who wants to tear down the foundation of pimps and drugs that Goldie looks to build upon.
We have got to stop sacrificing our sisters to the streets and our brothers to the drugs that are running around. Yes, sir! We have got to turn that around and take from them. I believe in taking. Go to school and get that knowledge. But get it with that black awareness always.
See, that's the one thing I love about the black exploitation films. They always spread a good message, especially for, you know, they always spread a good message. See, they try to say that black exploitation films was nothing more than like softcore porn back in the day. I doubt if you say that, then you probably only watch a few scenes, and the only thing you take away from that is the sex scenes. Then clearly you have a cluttered mind, and you need to open that mind up, because a lot of these exploitation films, they have to do with fighting oppression, fighting the man, coming up. Like, we didn't have no move. We didn't have these type of, think about it. If it wasn't for black exploitation, we would have never got what we got in the 80s. We would have never got what we got in the 90s. We would have never got what we got in the 2000s. And currently we ain't got shit but garbage ass Tyler Perry movies. But you get what I'm trying to say. We didn't have, if it wasn't for the black exploitation films, we wouldn't be able to spread awareness to our brothers and sisters out there. You know what I'm saying? About the struggle, you know what I'm saying? Overcoming the oppression, how we can change, how we can do better. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just need a movie that can just show like to take it to the man sometimes, you know? These movies were, while they were cash grabs for Hollywood, because technically, believe it or not, black people rebuilt Hollywood because Hollywood was in a shit show. And then these black exploitation films came along and black people started going to the movies more and more because we just love seeing the white man get his ass kicked by a pimp. It didn't make you want to become a pimp, but it made it cool to be like, to just see black people winning. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. If you don't get that out of a black exploitation film and all you get is it's just nothing but soft core porn, then all right, bro. All right, bro. All right. I don't think I could talk to you. I'm just saying. That's just me though. I don't believe that's black exploitation of softcore porn. I think it was educational at times. It could be beneficial. It could be inspiring. But nowadays, because the younger generation, they don't value anything from the past. They hate everything. I don't know what it is about today's generation that just hates everything from the past because they want the past to just, because the past, I guess because the past just don't accept the new and the young don't accept the what used to be. Even though y'all be wearing shit from the 70s and 80s and 90s, y'all be dressing like y'all from them time periods, but y'all don't take nothing else from it. Y'all don't take the wisdom. You don't take the guidance from it. You be like, nah, we got to do our own thing. Mental health, LGBTQ. That's all it is now. So that's all it is. It's mental health, LGBTQ, and the older generation need to adjust to the times because y'all the reason why all this trauma and stuff happened in the first place. No, it's not. You put yourself through that. You just decided to put yourself through that. Sometimes it's really just you. But you're never going to look in the mirror and see that. Till one day, it'll come around and hit you in the face. Hard. Pause. But anyway, so let's get back into this.
Yes, sir! This nigga's spitting!
Lulu, who's now working the streets. And she really, and I mean really, wants him to be her pimp.
And you never regret it. Man, I do anything. Do you hear me? Anything. You know, everything that you ask me to do.
You say anything? Anything. That's what you said, right? Hey, she said anything. Shit.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Damn, bitch, he heard you. Can he think about it for a second? Like, could you be any more desperate?
I guess not.
Goldie gets a little startup cash from his OG, who I don't know the name of, so I'm just calling him OG. And he climbs the ranks pretty quickly. Gets himself 4 or 5 more hoes to ride with him, including a white girl.
Look, it's snowing.
I'm sure that was a pretty big deal back in the 70s. I don't know what the hierarchy is for street pimps, but he's somewhere near the top. His boy Slim is back at his side, handling business. Even the kids love Goldie.
I want to be like you, Goldie.
Hey, look, I told you about that.
Yes.
I don't want to ever hear you saying that again. Okay, man, you can be a lawyer, you can be a doctor, you can be anything you want to be, but I don't want to ever hear you saying you want to be like me, okay?
I mean, you can tell the kids whatever you want, bruh, but practice what you preach. Of course, being at the top comes with a stack of problems. Those 2 crooked cops are still hounding Goldie, looking for any excuse to bust him or just shoot him. Either one works, they don't really care. And Goldie's old boss and biggest dope man in the city, named the Fat Man,
He's fat!
wants Goldie working for him again, but Goldie feels more prosperous doing his own thing. Let me address my main criticism with the Mack, and is that a few scenes in here feel really pointless. Like one scene, Goldie's hoes are being trained to steal clothes and break into jewelry stores. I'm like, okay, is there some kind of Ocean's 11 style heist coming? later in the movie, or maybe one of Goldie's girls gets, caught by the police and she has to wear a wire to set them up. Nope. Nothing from this scene ever comes up again. Then there's a scene later on, bro, that it's head scratching. So Goldie takes his hoes to a planetarium, right? And I don't know if he's brainwashing or hypnotizing them, but the way he's speaking feels like being initiated into a cult.
I will confide and respect Goldie.
Yeah, it's hypnosis. That's what this was. This was hypnosis. This was them pledging themselves to him, but it's also hypnosis as well.
And I accept this as a lifetime contract.
I was so confused watching this. Like, this is some Clockwork Orange type shit. Please, somebody explain what's going on. Goldie buys his mom a nice apartment by the waterfront, and he has a conversation with Olinga that, creates an interesting topic of discussion. Olinga is not happy with the lifestyle Goldie chose to lead coming out of prison because he believes it exploits your own people and causes the destruction of the neighborhood. Goldie responds with the fact that Olinga never came to see him in prison, never called or wrote a single letter. Olinga says he was busy building his Black Panther-esque group to give Goldie something to come home to. I get what Olinga is saying, but I can also understand Goldie's perspective. Prison is a very lonely place, and 5 years can feel like a lifetime. If you do manage to make it out and feel as if the world left you behind, hey man, you're gonna do whatever you gotta do to survive. Goldie says it's his life, and he should be able to live it as he pleases. That's true. This is a real opportunity to be rich and black, a combination only a few brothers get to achieve. He says there were no heroes when they grew up and the kids love them. Now, I wouldn't call pimps and drug dealers superheroes, but I see what he's going for. The hoes and drugs aren't going anywhere. If not me, then another man will take over and make the money, so why not? I mean, he's not wrong, albeit a flawed rationale. Being a part of the problem doesn't help. The damage these people have done to the black community should not be understated because it looks cool. Especially when Shaft came out 2 years earlier and he was doing the exact opposite of this bullshit. Call me woke, conservative, sensitive, whatever. I don't co-sign this, I never will. Anyway, those crooked cops get confronted by Sergeant Duncan of the police force, who tells them he's got concrete evidence of their corruption, and they've got 24 hours to resign or he'll go public.
Now you gotta be punished because of that.
That was stupid.
You know what? He deserved that. How you gonna
That's
confront
stupid.
2 dirty cops
Use
in a
your
dark
common
alley
sense.
with no backup?
This is crazy. You must be stupid, huh?
Now on to the Players Ball where Goldie wins Mack of the Year. The Fat Man comes to congratulate Goldie by giving him a gift, and of course to ask for one more favor. Goldie tells the Fat Man, "I'm done, baby." The Fat Man is like, "Man, give me my shit back." And he also responds by overdosing Goldie's white girl. RIP. Immediately after this revelation, Goldie and Fat Man are in a car together having a conversation. Like, those last 3 moments were back to back with like no break in between. Like, the pacing of this movie is so odd. Goldie's boys jump the rod and stick the Fat Man with a needle full of battery acid.
Fatality.
Things get even more tense during a dice game when a girl who works for another pimp, Pretty Tony, strolls in and pledges her allegiance to Goldie.
I mean, you know the rules of the game.
Game.
I mean, your bitch
Just
just
shows me.
Now we can
It
settle
seems
this
like you got some class.
So we can
We get into some
gangster
gangster shit.
Now, this is my first time seeing this movie, so when I heard this line, my mind immediately went back to Ed Wuncler in the Boondocks.
You know the name of the game. Your daughter chose me. Now we can handle this like some gentleman.
Yeah, everybody copied from this one scene. That's what made this that one scene right there made this movie super iconic. That one scene made this movie super iconic because everybody used this goddamn scene in their shit. Snoop Dogg used it in Doggy Style. Ludacris used it one time. I forgot which album it was, but he used it in a skit. Hella people reference this scene. Hella people, but I digress. Anyways, though.
Or we can get into some old gangster shit.
So now Tony is on Goldie's head. Then Goldie's mom gets a knock on her door, and it doesn't end well for her. She gets it bad and dies in the hospital. That's one of the main consequences of being on top. You may be untouchable, but your loved ones don't carry that same love. Somebody innocent. While you don't know for sure that Tony was responsible, the altercation from earlier would make him a target for Goldie anyway, so you might as well deal with.
Next time grown folks is talking, you shut the fuck up, yeah? Hey, this scene fucking iconic, bro. This whole fucking scene right here with them in the fucking with them shooting dice and shit, bro. That scene is iconic as a whole, bro. Super iconic, bro.
With him now. Tony gets cornered inside of a warehouse and Goldie makes Tony stab himself. And the screams sound just like Tom from Tom and Jerry.
Stick and get Tony!
Then they tie this nigga up with dynamite. Where did they get that? And blow his ass to smithereens.
Woo! You know he did.
Goldie attends his mother's funeral. You know, it doesn't help being remorseful after someone dies. This could have been prevented, and his brother's face says it all. You ain't shit. His OG tells him that there's a contract on his head, so now Goldie is fucked from every angle. Before he leaves the game for good, he and his brother deal with the crooked cops. The black-haired one admits that he killed Goldie's mom. So Tony was innocent. How about that? You ain't shit. Olinga breaks the blonde-haired cop's neck, and Goldie shoots his mom's killer in the head. And it turns out, Lulu sold him out. He would have shot her ass, but he was out of ammo. There were a couple of scenes earlier in the movie where Goldie blows her off, so I expected her to turn heel, but I thought she joined Tony and not the cops.
Now I want you to get yourself together and get back out there and get me my money. Now I don't care how long it takes you, you get out there and get it. You ain't shit. Since it's no longer safe in the city, Goldie says goodbye to his brother, who does not hug him back, and gets on a bus to wherever he's going next.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
I like the Mack. Wouldn't watch it again. It's a simple rags to riches story. Definitely a case of style over substance. The characters really didn't stand out for me. I thought Max Julian was okay. He ain't do shit after this movie, so this right here was his peak. I wish Richard Pryor had more to do because his character just sort of fades away by the end. Concerning some of those pointless scenes I mentioned earlier, maybe there were some scenes they didn't get to shoot or the movie was cut down for timing restraints, because I would have liked more follow-up to certain characters.
More than likely it was it had to do with budget. They probably didn't have enough film left or something, so they just had to either they had too much film or they didn't have enough. So they just tried to make shit work the best way they could to fill the time. That's how it was back then. They didn't give these black exploitation films, while they did help Hollywood get their money up, Hollywood sure as hell didn't give them good enough budgets to make the movies.
Characters and scenes that don't go anywhere. The soundtrack is fire, but this is a 70s blaxploitation flick, so expect nothing less. And that's all I got for now. Y'all stay frosty, I'm out.
Alrighty, man, let's just go about do it for this one. Most definitely, this is a motherfucking classic right here. Let's just give it up one time for the one time. Most definitely, man. The Mack. This is probably out of all the exploitation films that I've watched so far. I wish I could watch exploitation films, but I think a lot of them got picked up by like major corporations like MGM or Warner. Either Warner, MGM, or Sony picked these black exploitation films up because a lot of them got copyrighted. A lot of them back in the day, believe it or not, I want to say all the way up to like 2018, 2019. A lot of these were free domain, but shit, these companies like, nah, we gonna buy that. Give us that. We gonna buy that. Yeah, we gonna buy that right there. Yeah, we'll take that right there. So a lot of these black exploitation films, they no longer like free domain to use no more. I wish they were, but they're not. But it is what it is. So it is what it is. Yeah, man, that's just gonna about do it for this one. Most definitely. There were some, I guess Bro Glass is not gonna do any of these anymore. I was gonna say, man, you might want to look into Foxy Brown with Pam Grier. That'd probably be the next one, or Cleopatra, whichever one. It's a lot of Pam Grier films I watch. Shout out to Pam Grier. But anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this one. I'll see y'all in the next video. Till then, peace out.